Welcome to the Woodwork Experience. Today we're making this trusty little sanding block. Now it is a self-holding sandpaper system, which means that you can shake it, let it go, and you don't have to worry about that sandpaper coming off. Another great system about that is you can really lock in the tension that you want in your sandpaper so that when you're doing sanding for an extended period of time, you actually don't need to worry about the cramping or the fatigue in the hands, and you can change that position pretty easily and pretty swiftly. So they are handy. I personally like to have more than one so that I've always got some 120, 240 and 80 grit sandpaper ready and locked and loaded, ready to go. But enough chatter, let's get into it on the Woodwork Experience. Now, the very first thing we're going to come through and do is we're going to align these boards for drilling through. Now, to do that, you are going to need your two pieces here. But what size are the pieces? Well, they're pretty easy. We've got two pieces at different thicknesses. So we've got a 19mm piece here and a 12mm piece here. Now, the 19mm piece is 100mm in length and 60mm in width. And that goes the same for the Merbau piece I've got next to it, which is 100mm in length and 60mm wide. Now, when we're going through and setting these up, I've simply chosen some Merbau because it's an attractive timber. I also had some 12mm Merbau lying around, and so I've chosen to go that route. Now, if you could really use any timber. Something I'd suggest against is probably anything overly dense, just in case you do happen to knock into this part of your project and it damages it. So try to stay away from anything overly dense like blue gum or Jarrah or anything like that. Now, to progress, let's have a look at these, and we're going to need some masking tape. Now, obviously you got your masking tape here. Here's some I prepared earlier. Always good to have this stuff ready to go. Now, when we're doing this, you just need to come through and place tape on your project or on both pieces, just on one face of them, going the whole way across, making sure that there's overlap happening. Now, the overlap needs to happen because we're about to put some super glue on these. We've gone through, I've got our two pieces nice and taped up. They're ready for the next step. Now, the next step is, of course, we're going to glue these faces like so. Now, for this, we are not going to be using PVA, or we're not going to be using any epoxy, which we've used in previous tasks. We're going to be using a CA glue or a super glue. Today, we're checking out Selleys Quick Fix super glue. Yeah, it's the No Mess Quick Fix super glue, and this is a 3mm little container. Last thing I do need to mention is safety, safety, safety. You need to be wearing some safety glasses. But of course, before we apply any glue, you always want to have a bit of scrap underneath you. For here, I'm just using this cardboard from some sanding sheets. This just ensures that you're going to protect your bench, and why damage something if you can protect it? Come through and you just want to apply a bit of glue. We really don't actually need that much. A nice little spreading like so. From here, we want to apply it so that these pieces end up connected evenly so that they're aligned. So to do that, we're going to place it down on our paper or cardboard here, align one of the ends together like so, and then you can just push them together. Once you're nice and clamped up, you're going to want to clamp it for about 30 seconds. After it's been there for 30 seconds, feel free to go through and undo that clamp. Do be aware that if you did have any seepage with that super glue, it may be slightly on the edges and it could once again stick to you. So try to avoid that where possible.